So look, let's be honest, January has been a lot. The kind of month where every news update makes you want to lie down in a dark room. And honestly, everyone I work with, non-profit leaders, founders, journalists, have really felt it. Funding shifting, big decisions are being made under pressure, and the sheer volume of bad news is honestly exhausting. I thought I was going to start the year with a slow, intentional January, and that's not really worked out. So I suppose I'm asking the question, how are you?
Hello YouTube, welcome. How are you? I am fine, I think. No, I am fine. You may recall at the beginning of the year that I talked about wanting to have a slow January, that I was going to take time in January to reflect on my life and be intentional with my work. And that was indeed the plan. And I was going to take on no new clients, and I was going to refocus my business and a load of stuff, and it just didn't work. I totally failed. And it was a bit of a disaster because I really needed it. December was very hard. I ran a marathon at the beginning of December. I then had all the craziness of Christmas and New Year. Then I got really sick, just a really flat start to the year. I started the year feeling behind, and I never really felt like I caught up. Well, this has changed now. I do not feel nearly as overwhelmed with things. And part of that was because I built myself a 10-point plan. I'm calling it the 10-point overwhelm reduction plan. Point number one is coaches need coaches. I am a coach, I coach other people, but just like therapists often have therapists, I feel like coaches also need coaches. I've already hired a running coach, my friend Tom. He has an amazing running coaching business that is targeted especially at people with diabetes. I'm also going to reach out to someone more on the kind of work productivity coaching side of things, I guess a purpose coach in some kind of way, just making sure that I'm really reflecting on the bigger purpose of my work and developing those ideas. And then I have my friend Nick, and we sort of peer coach each other on creative work, on business plans, and he's really, I think, going to be helping me with YouTube a lot this year and helping me bring more direction to the content that I'm creating either here or over in my newsletter. The second one then is proper week planning. I have a really aggressive approach to time blocking this year. So for instance, emails is the classic one. It's a time suck, and if you check your emails 20 times a day, you end up just answering emails when they come in, and sometimes sitting there staring at your inbox waiting for emails just so you can respond to them. You ever do that? It's really stupid. It's not a great use of time. The third thing I'm doing now is trying to avoid days of massive overload or multitasking. What I was finding was on an average day, I was filming a YouTube video, writing a newsletter draft, doing 2 coaching sessions, trying to catch up with emails, and then going to pick up my kid from kindergarten. It takes time to move between one type of activity and another, and that's just how our brains work. So I'm trying to be a bit more focused. I'm only concentrating on one thing at a time, and that is the key, I think, to not feeling exhausted by the time 7 o'clock comes around. The fourth thing that we're then doing as a family is like month planning in advance, looking at the calendar, knowing what's coming up so that we can book holidays, time off with friends, identify patches where we're not really doing anything and thinking, who can we go and visit? We have a board up in the house with the months being planned out. So we're trying to get ahead of the curve on that. That has helped me catch up with where I was behind in January and start to feel that maybe, just maybe, I'm actually ahead this year, not behind. The fifth point of my overwhelm reduction plan is that I'm trying to guard the first hour of my work day. So I am trying to make sure that this is a non-negotiable space where I can lock into whatever deep task it is that I need to do. So whether that is scripting for a YouTube video, taking time out to journal, going for a walk and just enjoying nature as I take my son to kindergarten, whatever I've designated that hour, I'm just making sure that it's protected and that that hour is in every day. Number 6 is I am being more judicious in the amount of virtual coffees I'm having. So, you get people wanting to have meetings all the time. That's really nice. I love it. I live in a rural area. I don't just bump into people. I don't travel a lot for conferences, so it's really good to do. But I find myself just taking on way too many of those in a given week. I love to take them on, but I have blocked out time now to do those. Number 7 is that I am going to not launch anything. This year, I am going to not launch anything without thinking about it first. Some of the things I launched worked really well. Some of them did not work really well. But the things that I launched that worked, I am going to double down on actual solid products with thought behind them and intention to their design and being able to support the people who are using them. Point number 8, I need some help on this channel. One of those things, for instance, is editing. I really need to find someone to help me edit. I like the editing, I like learning about it, but I need to spend time on filming, scripting, making sure this is as good as it can be. I'm also going to take myself to the School of YouTube, which isn't a real school, it is just me watching YouTube videos about all the things that I don't know about video making that I need to know and be quite systematic about improving them. Point number 9 for avoiding the overwhelm is morning pages, journaling. I am trying to write every day a couple of pages of random thoughts to clear out of my brain whatever stresses I've picked up in the night, whatever I've been ruminating over. That's all going out into a notebook, let things flow in the morning, just get to the point where it's like, okay, I feel good, I feel free, I can start creative work, I can pay attention to my son and my family and try and be present as much as possible whilst eating my peanut butter toast. Very important. The presence, not the peanut butter toast. Finally, number 10 is running. I've started running again and that is already making me feel a lot better. It's been a bit of a start-stop return. I've picked up a few little injuries along the way that I'm just kind of fighting off now, like little bits of tightness. It's nothing serious, it's just I'm not running freely like I was at the beginning of my marathon training block where I was very happily running 30k, 40k in a week and feeling pretty free. The weather's also really cold. The local swimming pool has this beautiful sauna and this incredible outside like salt pool that's, what is it, like 32 degrees it's heated to. So you can go out and it was -5 outside last week. And I went to this place and just sat in the pool and it's warm and you're looking at the frost and the trees and the birds early in the morning. Winter sun, it's just incredibly beautiful. So that's it, just a quick video to check in. I'm fighting the overwhelm the best I can. January was not, well, yeah, you know what they say, the best laid plans and all that. I'm kind of disappointed in myself, but that's life, isn't it? And that's what January is all about. And in fact, that's why I left a lot of my planning to the end of January, because you do it at the beginning of January and you're full of the hopes of a new year. And then you get there and you realize like, yeah, this is actually quite different. I've got new work commitments, things around the kindergarten have changed, or family commitments, or whatever it might be. And so now I've adjusted to the new reality. I've made the systems for my life planning way more robust. What it ultimately does is opens up a lot more flexibility and time in the week to do things I want to do, and whether that's spending time with my son, taking time for myself, reading, running, going to the sauna, all of those kind of things, they're really important. I notice I say all those things a lot in these videos. Need to keep an eye on that. Thanks for being here. Likes and subscribes, very welcome, not mandatory. I'll see you in the next one.